Today's video is actually going to be about not moving the boat. We were all set to move yesterday, but earlier in the week Peter had a call from the doctor and it would appear that he has another medical appointment in about a month's time. So we're remaining here for a bit longer. Well, it's about another 3 weeks now, I think, till the end of June. No, the middle of June.
Last week I went to what I thought was my final appointment with the doctor, just a general, check-up all round, samples of this, samples of that, quite a lot of blood. But they were also interested in a spot on my forearm. Well, I brought it to their attention because Marianne thought I should. It's hard to believe looking at me now, but I'm ginger. And I was a real carrot top until when I was a child. So I was used to freckles, especially as I'd lived abroad, lived in Africa for a while as a child, and also did stints in the Middle East as an adult. I showed them this and they took some pictures and said, we'll let you know. And on Thursday, the day before I was due to leave, I got a message from the doctor saying she'd put me onto a 14-day program to get this spot analysed. So I had to stand by for an appointment to have it properly photographed and measured. And they were very quick. That happened on Monday, but it meant that when Marianne came up for the weekend, we didn't sail off on Friday afternoon onto the Thames. We stayed where we were. And whilst I was there, I was doing it, so I'm looking down because there's a cat who may be looking for somewhere to sit. There you go, come on then. I had some paperwork, and I was doing a bit of tidying, or intending to, and so I got everything out of the bottom of the wardrobe. While I had everything out, I thought that I would lift up a panel that I'd cut into the floor so that I could check the bilge, and that's the section under the floor down to the base plate of the boat, which is the very bottom of the boat, and it's about 6 or 7 centimeters deep, that space, and it has lots of concrete bricks in it for ballast. And I found that there was also water in there, but it was up a good 2 knuckles worth on my finger, so yeah, about that deep, quite a bit. That needed to be taken care of. I immediately scooped out several buckets loads of water. I don't know how the bilge is laid out on this boat, unfortunately. I think that it's all one big space, so that if water goes in anywhere, then it can be taken out at any point. I hope that's so. I mean, taking down that depth of water down to nothing was about 80 litres. I forget, 16, 17 gallons.
So this is the inside of the wardrobe, and because Peter had emptied it out for another purpose, he thought he'd just check down below, and what he found was water in there. So he has spent the last 3 hours or more scooping out water, and no matter how much he takes out, more keeps coming, I guess because it's between the bricks and in the bricks. But this is where he's at. So we're leaving it for today, and he's going to come back to it tomorrow, hopefully with a new hand pump that we've ordered, and see if we can't get rid of more water. Not great, but this is just part of why we're still here in Reading.
Can't see it. Oh, that's rubbish. I can't. Let's try it again. It's just there. Deeper than I expected it to be. Because when I was dipping my finger in, it was only like that.
I may be wrong.
No, but you're right. That's what it looks like. Well, I'll mark it there. Lovely.
One very tired Peter.
I don't know how that water got in there. It's happened once before. When I bought the boat, I had no access to the bilge at all. The wooden floor has been covered with laminate wood, which looks very nice, but there are no visible inspection hatches, which is why when I suspected a problem about 3-4 years ago, I cut this hole in the floor of the wardrobe. I've taken all the water out now, and it has cured the list that's been on the boat. Really, I first noticed it after Christmas, so maybe something happened then. At first we had quite a strong current bearing on that side of the boat, and that was the side that was listing, so I thought it was the force of the water pushing it down. And then of course we removed a 70 kilo stove and a 10 kilo chimney stack on this side, which certainly would have upset the balance. But getting all that water out has put the boat back on an even keel. So at the moment the hatch is opened and I'm keeping an eye on it, and it's beginning to dry out properly. I got rid of all the water and then mopped it up using the old standby of disposable nappies, and then some tissues, some kitchen towels, so that I can check if there's any water at all going in. I was a bit concerned. I wasn't sure if there was a list this morning after all the heavy rain last night, but I've got my little pendulum fixed to the wall in the bedroom, and that's showing me that we are still on an even keel.
So this is what, day 3 of the water in there?
I suppose it must. Well, goodness knows how long it's been there.
Yeah, but I'm talking about since you started
Since I
working on it.
mopping
Yeah.
The day before yesterday, I mopped it out.
Well, today is Monday, so it would have been Saturday, and I arrived on Friday. Is that right?
Oh no, it must have been Friday then.
Yeah, because it was the day I arrived. So that board there looked absolutely sodden, and that's drying out nicely. And the wood surround, you can see that the water's drying up, but it's still quite wet because the tops of the bricks are still quite wet. And these bricks are there as ballast. But that's the bottom of the boat, or not quite.
No, that's the bottom plate.
The bottom plate.
Yes, if you drill through that, we'd sink.
It looks a bit rusty.
No, it's red because it's been painted.
Yes, I'm talking about the bits that aren't red.
Oh, well, yes, you would expect that, yes.
Oh, okay. So that's the inside. Peter's just going to do a bit more mopping up. And yeah, not the best thing to have done on the weekend.
So, I will leave tomorrow now. I've got a few things to do this afternoon, and then I'll be setting off first thing in the morning. I've still got time to get up to Nottingham for my appointment with the stove fitter, but I don't have many spare days now. I might drop them a note and just let them know that's happening. So if they want to build in some contingency by altering the date again, then I won't argue with that. So that's where we are, and I hope in the background you can see our lovely black tiles. It's probably all black at the moment, but it looks very nice, and it's all ready for the stove to go in. You'll be disappointed, won't you, because he's got into the habit of sitting there and looking at his reflection in the black tiles. I suppose if you want to see a reflection of a black cat, then a black tile is the best place to look. Okay, if you can get off now, I'll give you your lunch, and then I can turn this camera off. How does that sound? No? Well, I'm afraid it's going to have to happen. Come on.